Will everything change after Corona? Some people think it will. They look at the massive economic stimulus, with the state stepping in to pay most of the wages of those unable to work for themselves, either because they've had to stay home or because their jobs have disappeared temporarily or permanently. They look at the restrictions on liberty, unprecedented in peacetime, that have been necessary to meet the threat, and they suggest that these might now be permanent. They say this because they always say this. It's par for the course. Collectivists seize on every crisis, indeed every hiccup, to suggest that this marks the final demise of market capitalism and the ushering in of a system of state planning and controls. They say also that individual behaviour and freedoms must now give way to the needs of society, by which they mean people must do as they're told and live lives that the planners think that they ought to live. It's not likely to happen. And the reason it's not likely to happen is because market capitalism has done more for humanity than anything else we've ever done. It has lifted more people out of poverty and starvation than any other thing that human beings have ever tried. And this has been particularly true for those at the bottom of the economic pyramid. By contrast, state planning and central direction have produced shoddy goods and shortages. We had to put in place many regulations and controls in order to meet the threat of Nazi Germany and Imperial Japan. Our mistake after that war was to keep many of those regulations in place. The result was that our economy suffered from decades of stagnation and poor performance, whereas the economies of those countries which had freed up their economies surged ahead. Now, it's not to say there won't be changes. Of course there will. Developments which had been taking place have been accelerated by the crisis, and that acceleration is not going back. For example, the delivery economy was developing at a steady pace, and it's suddenly been accelerated. With shops closed and people staying home, delivery has become super important. The home working was gradually gathering pace, but now people have been told to stay at home wherever possible, and this has become a major economic factor. Similarly for home learning. It was developing, increasing every year, but now with the closure of the schools and universities, it has become the mainstay. And the digital communications growing year by year, but now suddenly, with face-to-face meetings unable to take place, the digital communication sector has accelerated. So these have all been given a jump shift. The same will be true of other developments that will increase productivity and convenience. These include things like driverless cars and drones and cultured meats. These are the developments that are going to increase productivity, convenience, and take Britain into the new economy. Now, what we have to do is not to repeat the mistake of World War II. We must repeal the restriction controls when they're no longer necessary, and we must facilitate the development of these innovations, these changes that are bringing Britain into a new economic age. We have to make sure that we won't just be returning to the older freedoms. Instead, we'll be embracing and encouraging new ones.